Welcome back to another video on the channel today. Today I'm bringing you some really unexpected news that we heard midday today about the Kop redevelopment at Wrexham AFC. Yeah, something that sort of came out of the blue. You know, we heard about it on Twitter last night, people rumouring that Wrexham was set to install a temporary stand where the Kop is going to be, and you know, it was a bit hit and miss. We couldn't verify if this rumour was true, but fair play, it was true, and it's come out today that Wrexham AFC are set to install a new 2,200-seater temporary stand behind the goal for the foreseeable future until the Kop work does commence. So in today's video we're going to be discussing the pros, the cons, you know, what it is going to be, what is the stand going to hold in capacity terms, and of course we're just going to be discussing about this new temporary stand that will be in place very soon, sooner than what some people expected. But before we get going in today's video, if you're looking for the best Wrexham AFC content on YouTube, make sure to get down there, click the red subscribe button, do all that good stuff, and of course tap that notification bell because this is day 4 of the 21 videos in 21 days. So if you don't want to miss any of the videos to come in December, get down there and click the red subscribe button. Today we got the news that Wrexham AFC are going to start work on putting up a temporary stand behind the goal which will house 2,289 spectators, which is a lot more than what I was expecting. You know, if we were going to put up a temporary stand, you know, my original thoughts were probably maybe 1,000, 1,200, but they're going big, 2.2k, which is going to significantly increase our capacity to around 12,500, which of course we cannot complain about that. It's going to make our capacity bigger. We're going to have more fans inside the Kairas on a match day. It's going to be a better atmosphere. You know, it'll give us a good indication as to where this fan base really is. You know, if we instantly sell out 2,300 tickets on a match day for this game, then I think we kind of know where our fan base is in terms of size. What the maximum attendance we could reach is, that would definitely be a very interesting question. But along the lines of the Kop, some of the stuff they've said, their plan is for it to be ready for the Newport County home game on the 23rd of December. So that is very quick, and of course it's temporary, so it's not going to take 3 or 4 months to put up. It'll be done in the matter of a couple of weeks, so it will be ready for our Welsh derby against Newport County on the 23rd. That's what they're hoping for. That'll be a great way to start Christmas off. The stand will be for home fans only. Now, I've seen a lot of people have said, why don't we put away spectators in the stand? But for me, this would be a very silly decision, A, because surely you'd want Wrexham fans behind both goals. You know, it will stop teams from switching, you know, like Yeovil did the other night. We tend to play better when we're attacking our fans in the second half, so that will go out the window. There'll be 2,200 behind one goal and there'll be 2,800 behind the other, so I can only see that as a benefit. And of course the second one is the away end, I think, holds around 1,600. I might be way off on that one. 1,600 around there. So if we were to move the away fans behind the goal, that would give them a larger capacity. Obviously behind the goal 2,300, and it would mean there would be less Wrexham fans if we were to take the away end up and put the away fans in the stand behind the goal. So I don't really understand that. I'd much rather have us behind the goal in the new temporary stand because there'll be more Wrexham fans in the stadium. It'll be simple as that. And you know, I think it would be a very silly decision to go forward because they were so adamant that they weren't going to make it happen. And of course it must be Rob and Ryan that have tempted the club to put this up for the Wrexham fans who cannot get the tickets every game. And of course they're showing why they want to give back to the fans, and they're proving why this football club is for the fans, and they're changing the community for the better Wrexham AFC. So I think it would be a silly decision to put away fans in there. With the stand having no roof, it means ticket prices will of course decrease a tiny bit because obviously they're more prone to bad weather, rain, etc. You know, as we've seen at Yeovil, Accrington, you can get pretty wet if it starts raining and you don't have a roof over a stand. So it'll be £20 for adults, £15 for over 65s and under 21s, £9 for under 18s and £6 for under 11. So it's nice to see that they've taken that into consideration, unlike some clubs who decide to up their prices when we travel to them. Cough, Accrington, Stanley. This is a good gesture from the club, and you know, I think it's understandable. Obviously they'll be more exposed to the bad weather than the people in the Mould Road, Wrexham Lager, Tech End, etc. And it will be funny to say that that stand behind the goal will probably now be the coldest stand in the stadium. The cold road will not probably be the coldest stand in the stadium. So never did I think I'd say those words. But that's a bit of a brief on what the temporary stand will hold. And of course a lot of people have been saying as well about facilities. My guess on this is that they're going to install temporary turnstiles as well behind the goal, because of course it is a very large area behind the goal. I don't know, it just kind of doesn't really make sense. You know, like I said, the only thing stopping this is, of course, if it's safe. You don't really want overcrowding in the facilities in the Mould Road stand, and of course 2,300 people trying to get in through that tiny gap in the Mould Road. I can't really see that happening, but I can more understand that they'll probably be able to use the facilities in the Mould Road stand. The kiosk, of course, they can get a pint there, they can get their food, but I'm assuming they might have to find another way into the new stand behind the goal. I don't really know the situation on that. Of course, we're going to be talking about the pros of our new 2,289 seater stand behind the goal. Starting off, of course, it meets the demand of Wrexham fans at the minute. Of course, there's tens and thousands of people wanting to get Wrexham tickets at the minute, and of course every game at the racecourse ground we sell out within 10 seconds. So it was a slightly long-term issue, of course, with the constant setback dates for the Kop redevelopment. You know, there were a lot of fans that were suggesting a temporary stand behind the goal, and I'm glad to see that they have gone forward with this, and the Welsh Council, I think, have also had a big role to play in this by allowing us to get it done as soon as possible. And of course it allows extra fans to attend the stadium. 2,289 more Wrexham fans in the stadium can only be positive for the club, the growth of the club, the atmosphere inside the ground. It will take our average attendance up to about 12,500, which is incredible to see, absolutely ridiculous to see compared to other seasons where we could only scrape about 5,000, so it's good to see our attendance is nearly double. They're thinking about the fans in this situation. They've already stated on the website that they will make a loss from, of course, installing the new temporary stand compared to the income made from the tickets. So they're making a loss on this, but they're thinking more about the fans, which I absolutely love, and I think it's more down to Robin Ryan, because we saw Sean Harvey immediately ruled out any chance of us having a temporary stand a couple of weeks ago in a board meeting. I think this is more Robin Ryan pushing it to the club, pushing it towards the fact that they want more people in the stadium. And they promised as well they wanted to improve the community of Wrexham better, they wanted to give back to the fan base, and they've truly shown it by doing this. And of course it means for the first time in nearly 16-17 years that we will have 4 stands full inside the racecourse ground. The full ground will be in full use, which will be a tear to the eye to see, because whenever I've been watching Wrexham for the whole of my lifetime, when I have been inside the racecourse ground, we've only had 3 stands. So I don't know, that'll be a bit of a weird moment, of course, the first time you'll walk up the steps and see that there's fans behind the goal where the Kop used to be. I don't know how I'll feel, it'll be a bit of a weird moment in that situation. But hopefully become more of a fortress now that we've got fans behind both goals. I genuinely cannot wait. So I think in this situation they want to have given back to the community and, you know, just help the fan base of Wrexham AFC grow. And of course it's quick and easy to put up, you know, like I said previously, it's not like a 3 to 4 month project where they're trying to put up this stand. Work has commenced today on the 4th of December, and if they're saying it'll be done by the 23rd, then it's a very quick turnaround to get this up, and it's a no-brainer in this situation. I don't understand why we haven't done this maybe earlier, when we possibly knew that the Kop wasn't going to be done by the set date that they said to be. But of course the one reason, of course, it wouldn't be financially good for the club, but the income we're making at the minute, I think this was definitely a no-brainer. And of course we'll slightly make up for it with the money made from the tickets on match day with the extra 2,300 people inside the ground. But like I said, it's a great decision made from the club, and I think it's definitely one that will go down a hit. Now we're going to be discussing the cons of this. Now there's not really many cons, but the main one that Wrexham fans are getting at from this is that, you know, we've installed this new temporary stand, which can sort of only mean that the Kop date is going to be set back even further when they're going to start redeveloping it. I think they said the temporary stand will be there for a minimum of 3 months. You know, that's not really positive news in comparison to the temporary stand, but I think what we can expect is the Kop will not be completed by the date they said previously, which I think was October, September 2024. We're more looking like possibly going into 2025, which is disappointing. It seems as if, you know, we're not really making much progress on this, but we're being held back by a couple of issues which hopefully will be resolved this week according to sources inside the club. Hopefully we'll see it up in the near future. Do I think we'll see it up in 2024? I'm going to sit on the line with this one. It could be done very, very late into the year of next year. We're probably more looking at early into 2025. It depends how long it takes to get up, and it depends how long these issues take to get resolved. Now the other downside of this temporary stand, of course, is the fact it will have no roof, which I don't really know why it doesn't have a roof. I don't know if it will cost more to put a roof on a stand like this, and of course it's going to be a big stand, and we've seen it with Gillingham. Theirs doesn't have a roof, so it might be something to do with safety. I don't know, because it's a temporary stand. It's not going to have the structure of like a proper Kop stand like we're going to get. I don't know if it will obviously cost more, maybe safety regulations, but you know, it's not going to have a roof, so it's not going to be ideal in the upcoming winter months. We probably won't see this temporary stand in the warmer months of the year, so yeah, I mean, if you're going to go in the temporary stand, expect to maybe wrap up in layers because it might be a chilly one in there. And of course, the other downside is we need justice for Percy Pigg. Where is Percy Pigg going to go? We will never know where Percy Pigg will be removed to, because what I can assume is the stand will run all behind the goal. So where is it going to go? Is it going to be taken down? Because of course we saw it in the FA Cup game yesterday, was plonked in the corner where near enough the old floodlight was. But is it going to be deflated? What a sad moment for the club, and they're not giving any thought or consideration to Percy the Pig. But yeah, on the other hand, apparently there's a lease meeting tomorrow about the leasing of the Kop stand, and of course the only issue that's holding us back at the minute is the funding, and we're waiting for it to transfer, and I think Sean Harvey's attending that meeting tomorrow, so hopefully we'll get an update from that. Hopefully things, like I said, issues regarding underground work, funding can hopefully just be resolved very quickly. We've seen the underground voltage cables I think run through to university, the sewers. I don't know if those problems have been resolved yet, but if they have, then happy days, and we're only waiting on the transfer of the funding. So if we can get that done as soon as possible, we can start planning ahead on when we can start the reconstruction of the Kop. If we're looking at a time frame of when this temporary stand is going to be, we're probably looking at 3 to 4 months. Maybe it will be taken down late February, early February, even better. It depends when we can start the redevelopment of the Kop, which is hopefully going to be early into the new year. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below on this new temporary stand that Wrexham AFC are going to install. Let me know what you would call it. Of course, it's going to be here for a little more than a couple of weeks, so let me know your funny or suggested names in the comment section down below. They're doing it for the love of the fans. They're doing it for the fan base of Wrexham, which have helped us through very hard times, through thick and thin, and of course there's die-hard Wrexham fans that are struggling to get tickets at the minute, so hopefully that will ease off the situation of people not being able to get tickets. Let's hope that's the case anyway, and of course let's make the racecourse ground a fortress. Let's make the atmosphere even better than it already is. Nearly 3,000 extra Wrexham fans in this stadium. That Newport game, if the stand is up, is going to be electric. 12,500 people packed inside the oldest international stadium in the world. We've dreamed of days like this, and they're slowly but surely coming back, and I couldn't be any happier at the minute. And yeah, like I said, make sure to drop a like, get down there and subscribe, and I'll see you for day 5 of the 21 videos in 21 days. An unexpected video, but again, I'll see you in the next one. Take care guys, up the town.